Hi there, and welcome to Smart Owl Readers. My name is Miss Jeannie. Today we do booklet P. If you've got your booklet, follow along with me. Get it out and flip those pages. Okay, so we're turning to our first page in the book, and we're going to again introduce that these are letters because you want them to know what these are. Our next step will show them when you put them together, it makes a word. And sometimes I'll do that if it's someone I'm just going back and filling in some of the letters and they've already learned a few words, they're writing their name, but the concept of what a letter is and what a word is, and then eventually a sentence is something I go over a number of times. So in the beginning with them, I'm telling them here, each time I introduce, this is a letter, and this is our new letter. His name is P, and the sound is P. Do not let them exaggerate this and go P, because then again it's putting that U with the consonant. So this is P. Penguin, P, P. Pig, P, P. Paint, P, P. Pencil, P, P. See how much easier these pictures are than the vowel books. Panda, P, P. Pie, P, P. Okay, and then we're now through the pages with just the letter, so you can end there with your 2-year-olds, or you can just continue to go on. You don't even have to talk about the lines if you want to keep going with your 2-year-old. If you want to show them these lines because they've seen them in their writing, then the color is different on most of the papers in school, or the tan colored, so there's not a differentiation of the colors generally. So I like to keep them really nice and color coded because it's easier to direct them when you want to take a pencil, or even here in this case a finger. So it starts with the fence. Now this is one of those letters that actually gets to go under the grass. And if you heard me in my earlier videos, I had this little student, and she was one of my youngest that I taught to actually read. She was 3 years old and just loved letters and wanted to learn, and she'd do an hour lesson with me. And I was teaching her writing, and I said, okay, make sure, Tiffany, your letters are sitting on the grass. And she said, except for the dirt letters, Miss Jeannie. And I said, the dirt letters? She goes, yeah, the dirt letters, the ones that go under the grass. And I thought, how smart and observant is that? So now these letters I refer to as the dirt letters. There's 5 of them. And so here we have our P. So he gets to go under the grass into the dirt, and then a bubble. Okay, so penguin, P, P. Pig, P, P. Paint, P, P. Pencil, P, P. Panda, P, P. Pie, P, P. Okay, now uppercase. And stop anytime you want. If they're fussy, it's not working for them that day, close the book. It's not a problem. Any little bit you can get them to do and practice, you're that much closer to them mastering these letters and their sounds. Okay, now we have uppercase. Looks pretty close to the little P, and they'll say, but there's some differences, and they'll see that in a little while. Penguin, P, P. Pig, P, P. Paint, P, P. Okay, here we show it on the lines, so they get to see he's actually up here. Blue to green, and his bubble is blue to red. Panda, P, P. Pencil, P, P. Pie, P, P. And now we're going to do our side-by-side so they can really see that even though those straight lines and the bubbles are very similar, they look pretty different, especially when they're sitting on those lines. So again, we're going to do the 2 sounds here. So we'll go penguin, P, P. And there is something that I talk about more towards the writing end, because unfortunately, I see a lot of kindergartners, they'll have pages where they're showing lines so they can fit their letters in, but often there's just one line. And then the size and where they sit is all over the place. And then sometimes there's no line, there's just a square or rectangle where they have to write something. And that's when you really start to see upper and lower case. And it's just something that they have to be shown a number of times and taught how to write with one single line and then also with no lines, but that's steps down the road. Penguin, pa, pa. Pig, pa, pa. Paint, pa, pa. And then our last page, our pig's giving us a good job and a well done. I recommend a sticker chart or something to acknowledge them every time that they finish something for you. And if it's a little one, even a section every time they sit down with you, some kind of reward system. And because, really any kind of encouragement you can get to push through studies and education, for some kids it's going to be harder than others, I recommend. Okay, until I see you next time, have a wonderful day and hug those children.